Hey there, I thought I would do a very quick unscripted update. There's been a lot going on in my life. So I think the biggest thing that's happened is there was a little drama at work, which kind of forced me out of the closet. I know I do talk about ADHD sometimes here, but I've never publicly spoken about it like on a professional platform like LinkedIn. And I've never asked for accommodations at work. I did at school when I was in college and in high school. Basically, I was in a meeting and someone repeatedly accused me of not paying attention in front of everyone else, even though I actually was paying attention and I wasn't looking at anything else, but I was moving my body kind of like this, kind of fidgeting. And they misread it. Considering the person who was accusing me, their position, a position that really shouldn't be committing that type of work faux pas or whatever you want to call that, discriminatory action. And I wrote about it on my LinkedIn profile, which is public, and a lot of people from my company and just from my life who either know me in real life or just know me professionally, virtually through LinkedIn, read that. And so that was interesting, right? Because you never want to come off as too negative whenever it's like your professional profile. So I think that was just like very stressful, right? And it's something I dealt with. And I did even notice that like some of my friends who, usually support all my posts didn't, and I understood why. I think it's because they were a little uncomfortable with it. I mean, I did it in a very respectful and professional manner, but the article makes it very clear that I am talking about a recent event. Therefore, it's really obvious that it would be associated with my current workplace. So that has been probably the biggest thing that's happened since my last update. Another thing, onto lighter and brighter topics, is I started reading a book called, I think it's called How Emotions Work. Okay, that might be the wrong title, but it's one of the two books published by neuroscientist Dr. Lisa Feldman Barrett, who's actually very known in the field, but I only discovered her work recently. She basically calls emotions metabolic summaries, which gives it a very different meaning than how you usually hear emotions described. It's quite the paradigm shift, but I think I probably have to make a thoughtful episode on that once I finish the book. I'm not quite there. I'm maybe, in the first third of it. I discovered her listening to Diary of a CEO, which is basically the only podcast I regularly listen to. I don't like all the episodes, but that was a really good one. Oh, actually, I do like this podcast that I recently discovered. I only listened to one episode so far. It's called What Now by Trevor Noah. So since he's left the Today Show, and he's kind of like, it seems like a semi-retired, but maybe that's unfair. He has this podcast where it's a lot more relaxed, and I think you see a lot of his real personality come out. And he talks to very interesting people. I saw an episode where he talked to a comedian whose name is Atsuko. I'd seen lots of clips of her on like Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, and I think she's really funny. She's kind of like Ellen DeGeneres in that her humor is not at the expense of other people, really. It's more like positive humor, which I think is so much harder to pull off. This week, I'm hosting my first movie night, and I'm using the Partiful app, which is pretty cool, and I highly recommend it. I feel like I should do a little tech review. That and my favorite app at work has been Scribe AI for job aids. I think I've definitely told colleagues about it in the field, but it's gotten a lot better over the past year, and it's like less buggy, less lag time. It's really cool. Oh yes, and I've been trying out Vibe Coding, my professional website, which is kind of like a portfolio for the work I do since I'm a learning designer / consultant. I've been using So Hostinger is a hosting website, and they have a vibe coding platform called Horizons. So I tried kind of like their free thing, played with that a little bit. Also played with Gemini and used Microsoft Visual Studio to try coding. And I think I'm going to get a subscription of Claude for, I don't know, a couple of months and test that out and see how I like that. Okay, well, that's my quick update for now. Yeah, talk to you later. Bye.